Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have quite a few different things to go and talk about. Number one is that a lot of people are getting pretty upset over here when it comes to PlayStation and the brand new upcoming Last of Us HBO show, which I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a little bit excited for, but some of the brand new announcements and kind of teaser things that are coming out right now, and people are seeing, and people are talking about, are getting a little bit heated, and a lot of PlayStation fans, and basically people who are just kind of expecting the homage to the original game, are getting a little bit more on the sadder side too, because there's actually some pretty big changes and pretty big design changes and a few different things that I'm going to talk about. Now, nothing big on the spoiler side itself, just really basic things, but if you guys have played the games, you guys will understand. And as well, we also have some other interesting stuff, such as the Sony car in this video, and a few other very nifty things that kind of came out here. So, hope you guys all stay tuned, relax, and enjoy. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, for the brand new upcoming PlayStation 5 or all those types of good old giveaways going on the channel itself, we have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow, and the Target and Amazon links too. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place, and let's go and dive on in. So as I mentioned, if you guys have seen or played The Last of Us, I just recently played through The Last of Us myself, there's a pretty big world dynamic. Now, this is kind of a big deal if you guys have played the game. It's not really a spoiler, don't worry about that, but right now, Neil Druckmann has now confirmed that the spores as seen in the game, such as, the Last of Us games, have for some odd reason been removed from The Last of Us on the HBO. Now, that's pretty big, so let me give you guys the text for this one. Spores will not be existing in The Last of Us in the HBO series. The game had spores in the air, and people had to wear gas masks, and we decided early on that we didn't want to do that for the show. Eventually, these conversations led us to these tendrils, and then just think about how there is a passage that happened from one infected to another, and like fungus does, it could become a network that is interconnected. So, kind of a weird thing to know. Let's go talk about this really quick. So basically, if you guys have played the game, a big premise of the game, this is not a spoiler, so in the first hour of the game, okay? It's not, I don't think it's a big one. Basically, for this one, if you guys are around these little creatures, they call them clickers, and essentially there's these spores, and the spores can basically go and infect you. If you have a central hub of a bunch of these little monsters you guys can see on the screen, then basically you have to be very cautious into going to these rooms. You can maybe even in the game use it to escape other people, or if they don't have a gas mask, or you can maybe get rid of their gas mask, by hitting it or smacking it, breaking it or whatever, and then you can basically go and kind of use that to infect other folks. I would probably say this was a pretty big central part in both the first and second game, and probably the third one too, because we have been hearing rumors of the upcoming third one. So the fact that we're seeing this, of all things, is kind of a really big change. Now, to kind of give you guys just the overall blunt, a lot of folks are upset about this because it still is kind of a pretty fundamental. The clickers are still there, the characters are still there, but this is one in my opinion, kind of bigger, overall lore and design changes that a lot of folks are kind of upset with. Now, you can still make it work, and I'm not we still have to watch the show. I myself, leave a comment down below if you guys are going to watch. I'm definitely going to watch myself. But you kind of see this and you're like, well, that's definitely kind of changing the core stuff that I remember, and it's not 1000% true to the one-to-one story. Now, I kind of hope they do kind of place towards the one-to-one story quite a bit, but we'll have to see. But as I mentioned, a lot of folks are kind of talking about this issue, where people are like, bro, that's just not how it was in the game. People are a little bit upset on this too as well. And they did go and say that they said that there are certain additions that we made to the show, which I really liked. We wanted to avoid making a zombie show. We have the clickers, which help separate us by grounding them in one way. But also, they're such interesting, weird beings that they use echolocation to find their way around. But with more recently infected, we had a lot of conversation about what the vector could look like, because there were certain things from the game that we took away. The game had spores in the air. People had to wear gas masks, as we mentioned. We decided early on that we didn't want to do that for the show. These event conversations led us to these tendrils, as I just mentioned before, and then just think about there's a passage that goes from one infected to another. It became scary to think that they're all working against us in this unified way, which is a concept I really liked that got then developed into the show. So once again, they're kind of changing how the characters and kind of the main, monsters in the show are kind of reacting and how they kind of work, and it's a little bit kind of just weird. And a lot of folks are like, well, this is I can give you some of the quotes over here too. This is a bad PR reason. The spores would make more sense. It also goes in, you can just read through the comments over here. Some of them are saying, yeah, it would make more sense. Live action also make more sense. It's more interesting. It makes it just, in terms of real life versus video game, you can implement it a lot more. You can see people physically locked out. You can do the easy pan zooms and go do 4 different directions of one guy outside. Then you have the people progressing. Maybe one guy trying to go and flank around. And I do agree, there's a lot more stuff they can do. They also did go mention, say we want to avoid making a zombie show, which once again, I don't really see a lot of zombies kind of in the same exact mind. They're trying to say they want to make it more like the Flood, maybe from Halo. And like just a lot of the comments too are kind of saying like, like you can say, I don't know. I think some of the spores made it more realistic. And a lot of folks are kind of just thinking like this is not really, it's just not true to the game. And it's kind of it's kind of nifty. Once you kind of change things a little bit too much, people definitely get a little bit more on the upset side. Now, once again, I think The Last of Us show has a lot of potential, and I'm excited for it. So I hope this is going to be like a big groundbreaking change where I'm going to see it, and as someone who's played both the games, be a little bit upset, like fingers crossed. But I also want to go make other comments, and they're actually going to explore the life even before the infected. So once again, a little bit more extra lore / backstory for the game itself, which once again could be good, could be bad. So they actually have a state over here for the Last of Us HBO series saying this will seek to explore the moments before the cordyceps brain infection happened with all the spores, etc. This is according to actor Gabriel Luna, who plays Joel's younger brother Tommy in the upcoming show, in an interview with the cast. Hopefully this means that the series will expand on the short prologue from the first Last of Us game. We'll see these shows out characters be a family before the outbreak, which I think actually might be kind of nice, because we never really did have that in the very first Last of Us game, and a lot of the Last of Us game itself, like you care about that. You care about the family dynamic. You care about the drama. You care about everything in between. So this actually might be a good twist. Some flashback scenes or everything else in there might be kind of a good thing. Now, at least for the negativity on the spores, I think this might be a good thing if you like the Last of Us story. Maybe people who are more never played the game, they hear about it, they like it, they can kind of go from there. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's nice. I think it's cool. So they say these moments when just everything is still normal were a lot of fun. Luna continues. Also very important to the story to establish what this family looks like when they're fighting for their lives. So we're probably going to look a lot more initial early press to go and see like how the game is, how it's going to flow and everything in between it. And I think that's a nice thing. Like I think if we can explore out this plot and maybe normal people might like it, might make The Last of Us 3 maybe a little bit better. So kind of cool changes on this one. Now reminders too, we also have a few other cool things such as the brand new Ubisoft Star Wars game. Now this game's getting me kind of excited because it's apparently supposed to be a seamless open world universe, think kind of like a No Man's Sky, where you're basically able to go explore all of Star Wars and go to different planets and kind of get different creatures, and you can basically go and jump between every single system. They go and say immersing themselves in a vast galaxy and bursting in the seams with activities. I think this seems sick. I think it seems cool. We definitely have to see a little bit more, but I always feel like the Star Wars potential for like an MMO, I know there is an MMO out there, has so much potential, so much everything. I'm excited. I would actually love to play this. So we'll try to get some more details as it kind of comes on out too as well. It might be too ambitious though. That was a big thing for No Man's Sky where it took multiple years for it to be normal. So we'll see. Ubisoft also hasn't been the best consistent game provider these past few years. So hopefully they're not going too crazy for the game. But I want to be cautiously optimistic because I think there could be some good potential on over there. Now, a reminder too, we had a very crazy story when it comes to the Sony cars. Same with the Sony, Honda is now apparently putting PlayStation 5 games in their electric cars to go take on into Tesla, because I'm like in the random middle of the screen over here. So Sony has also made good on its promise to take on Tesla by announcing a FILA. This is all actually regards at CES, just a little bit later news to go cover now. It's a brand new collaboration with Honda that'll be featuring PlayStation 5 games in the car. The electric vehicles, a prototype of which have shown off in CES 2023 last night, will be developed by Sony Mobile Mobility, or Honda Mobility, with a joint venture that's already struck a partnership with Epic Games. So now Epic Games, the Fortnite makers themselves, are now somehow squeezing their way into making literal cars. Although the car itself does look pretty cool, and I do kind of like it, and the fact we even go play PlayStation 5 games in the car itself might be some pretty cool news. So basically, during the CES presentation a few days ago, Sony showed off the concept of the car with Horizon Forbidden West literally running on the game itself. And on FILA's official website, the company said that Fortnite makers Epic Games have also been trying to go incorporate this so you can literally go play Fortnite while you're literally driving your car. They say, we aim to evolve mobility space into entertainment and emotional space by seamlessly integrating real and virtual worlds and exploring new entertainment possibilities through digital innovations such as the metaverse. So it's kind of weird to see that Sony keeps on pushing into the metaverse and NFT type style, but I do like the idea of Epic Games maybe pushing like a massively multiplayer game. Although I'd be a little bit concerned because if you have too much stuff going on in the middle of your like basically entertainment center, as we see in the Tesla cars too, be a little bit worried about people, doing that with no self-driving or kind of keeping people in check. So we'll have to see how it kind of goes and fully evolves and how many people like it, enjoy it. Although it does have 45 cameras and sensors, both inside and outside, to maybe potentially help out that same, electric vehicle type side. So I think this is nifty. I think it's cool. We can definitely go and see that this game will be or these games inside cars might be the next level technology, especially with Tesla already integrating that into their cars themselves. So if you guys want to, you guys can always go and pre-order the car if you guys have an extra $50,000, and it might be showing up in the first half of 2023. And I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below on all the changes on The Last of Us show. Would you guys go buy a Sony car? At the end of the day, do you guys still like Star Wars? I hope so in this day and age. Let me know in the comment section down below. As well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the, future upcoming giveaways too. We got the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow, and the Target Amazon links too. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.